Ladies, I'm going to try to walk you through completing example 2 from your 2.5 notes, goals 6 and 7. The table lists average monthly temperatures and electricity costs for a Texas home in 2008. The table displays the values rounded to the nearest whole number. Make a scatter plot. How would you describe the correlation? So let's make this scatter plot on your graphing calculator. So remember that our average temp in the first column is the independent value and the electricity bill is our dependent value. So we have our average temp represents our x coordinates and our electricity bill represents our y coordinates. So let's practice doing this in our graphing calculator. First of all, I expect you to be able to make a scatter plot by hand, but let's practice doing this with our calculator. So if you turn your calculator on and you're in the middle of another activity, it's very simple to start a scatter plot without having to go back to the home page. So you can press home and go like we did in class, or you can press Control plus page. It brings up a menu and you want to select Add Lists and Spreadsheets. Remember, you will label your column. So this is the average temp. Now I already have from our activity in class today a column labeled temp, and unless I delete this, it's important that I give my next column a new name. So I'm going to call it av temp. Okay. Nope. It won't let me put a space there. So let's just do av temp, one word. And then I'll call this one ELE for electricity, BILL for bill. Okay, so let's enter those data points. And 61, enter. 58, enter. 67, enter. So on and so forth. So you pause the screencast and enter your data points, and I'll do the same. Before you create your scatter plot, it's important that you double check each column to make sure that the coordinating points line up. So let's double check. We should have 61, 150, 58, 139, 67, 172, 75, 205, 79, 170, 83, 234, 84, 255, 85, 245, 81, 210, 76, 183, 65, 132, and 58, 110. Okay, so now we're ready to make the scatter plot using this information. Remember, Control Doc brings up my list, my drop-down menu, and I want data and statistics. Click on the x-axis, and then it brings up a whole list of values. Remember, we're looking at average temp for the x-axis and electricity bill for the y-axis. So now, would you say that this is a positive or negative correlation? And I would agree with positive. And then what would you say, is this a strong or weak correlation? And it looks to me like it's pretty strong. Let's take a look at example 3 from class today. The table shows the median home prices in Florida. What is the equation of a trend line that models a relationship between time and home prices? So time is our x-coordinate, and the home prices would be representative of our y-coordinates. So let's take a moment and enter this into a spreadsheet on your calculator. Remember, when you enter, you want to I want to show you how instead of making a new spreadsheet, you can just use an older spreadsheet. So right now we are on my document 1.5. So I want to go back to 1.4. So if you see that this blue page to the left or blue page to the right, if I press Control and then hit my left arrow key, it'll take me to a document to my left. So I'm going to show you how to use the same spreadsheet, just a new column. So I'm going to use columns C and D. In column C, I'm going to name column C year, and I'll name column D Florida homes, because remember, these are the prices of homes in Florida. You can call it median price if you want. Okay, so pause the screencast and enter your data into the year and Florida homes columns. Okay, so I've added my data from the median home prices in Florida, and I've double checked to make sure that everything is correct. So it's time to create a scatter plot. Remember, Control Doc, add data and statistics. For the X variable, that was the year, and the Y variable was Florida homes. Okay, we have another strong positive correlation. Remember, the instructions said, what's the equation of a trend line? Remember, we said a trend line is the same thing as a regression line. So for your regression line, from the scatter plot, you'll select Menu, Analyze, Regression. Remember, this is a linear model, 1. So our equation, if you'll take that and write that down on your paper, let me explain what this negative 2.7 e to the 6 is. This is a scientific notation. So our equation is y equals 1,411.43x, that's our slope, plus our y-intercept, negative 2.7 times 10 to the 6th power. Remember, that means we would move our decimal 6 places to the right to write this in correct scientific notation. So this is our equation of our trend line. And just to make sure you understand how to write this if you see it, so y equals 1,411.43 x. So plus a negative we know is minus 2. Now I want to move this decimal 6 places to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd add a 0 here on the end. So 2, 7, 1, 3, 0, 6, 0 is my y-intercept. Okay. So use this equation to predict the median home price in the year 2020. Remember that the year is our x-coordinate, and so if the year is 2020, then we know that in this case x is equal to the year 2020. So to calculate or make a prediction, we would plug 2020 in the place of x. So if you'll take a moment and calculate that on your calculator. From this screen, in order to get to a simple calculator, you can press this button that I'm pointing to now. It's called Scratch Pad, and it's just like a little notebook where you would write things on a scratch pad at home to take notes. So let's figure out what the median home price might be in Florida in the year 2020. So I've got 1,411.43 times the year 2020 minus 2,713,060. And so the median home price is predicted to be $138,029. So when x is 2020, y is $138,029. So that's how we can use our regression equation to make a prediction.